Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a peek outside that weather window. And wow, what a day today. This looking back, you could just see Wenatchee and the Columbia River on the right side of your screen. This is our Malaga Sky-Fi Tower camera. You can see the beautiful Cascades. And even more beautiful today, that blue sky out there. If it wasn't for that breeze that blew all day today, it would have been just a phenomenal day, our second day of winter. And we're going to continue with this pattern. The big change as we move through the week and into Christmas Day on Friday will be a big cool down. We're going to see high temperatures only in the 30s. We're talking low to mid 30s with low temperatures, not so much the teens for us, but certainly the 20s. And we will just continue with those light winds and just seasonal weather as we make our way through this Christmas week. But then we might see a white Christmas. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Highway 17 south of Mansfield was closed for several hours Sunday night when a semi caught fire, with the fire then spreading to the trailer and igniting its contents. Kashmir is currently the city in Chelan County with the highest incidence rate of COVID-19. And the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine is good news, but it's difficult to transport to rural hospitals because it needs extreme cold storage to stay viable. We'll tell you the challenges that brings. But first, we begin tonight. 2 people were injured, one seriously, after a 2-car accident yesterday afternoon on Highway 2 near Heartline. The Washington State Patrol reports that shortly before 4 p.m., a Dodge Ram pickup being driven northbound on Road R by 36-year-old Kaylin Burton of Cooley Dam failed to stop at the intersection with Highway 2 and then collided with a Ford F-150 pickup being driven by 63-year-old Daryl Parsons of Cooley City. Parsons was airlifted to Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane. Burton was transported to the Grand Coulee Medical Center. Burton faces charges to failure to yield at a stop sign. Highway 17 was south of Mansfield was closed for several hours Sunday night when a semi caught fire, with the fire then spreading to the trailer and igniting its contents. Douglas County Fire District 5 Chief Tyler Cayley said firefighters arrived at about 8:42 p.m. to find the semi-trailer fully engulfed and quickly extinguished that before turning their attention to the trailer, which was fully loaded with fiberglass bathtub and shower units. Cayley said crews had to manually unload the trailer in order to gain control over that fire. The driver of the semi was not injured. Kashmir is currently the city in Chelan County with the highest incidence rate of COVID-19. Dr. Malcolm Butler with the Chelan Douglas Health District says that's largely due to infections in a long-term care facility located there. 11 such facilities are currently experiencing outbreaks around the valley, and 21 long-term care residents have died.
I thought I would show you where we are hot right now, what cities are hot with COVID. I put a line under Wenatchee. This is Chelan County cities, and this is the residence address of the individual, not where the test took place. And so as a benchmark, Wenatchee on, this is December 16th, Wenatchee was reading 757, and you can see pretty consistently a lot of communities are about the same. But Kashmir right here is at about twice that incidence. Kashmir has been hot for the last 2 or 3 weeks, largely related to an outbreak at a long-term care facility. But also this is Dryden, this is Eniot, this is Leavenworth, this is Peshastin. Kudos to Monitor and Chelan, which are actually below the average. This is Douglas County, similar thing, using East Wenatchee as a benchmark at 1270. You can see that Rock Island is almost the same, but you can see that Orondo is really hot right now with an incidence of about 5,000 per 100,000 for 14 days. This is looking at ethnicity. Light blue is Hispanic, dark blue is non-Hispanic. This is going back till March. Far right is most recent. The red bar is around 31%, which is the percentage of the population that is Hispanic in our 2 counties. And you can see we came down and kissed that number, now bounced back up to about the 50% range. So the Hispanic community is still shouldering a disproportionately large burden of illness, but happily improved since earlier in the pandemic.
The Pfizer coronavirus vaccine is good news, but it's also difficult to transport to rural hospitals because it needs extreme cold storage to stay viable. Diane Blake, CEO of Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth, says the just approved Moderna vaccine is even better news thanks to its easier storage requirements. Blake was part of a press conference Monday organized by the Washington State Hospital Association.
I updated our foundation on having employees vaccinated. I sort of got a little emotional on Friday, just that relief of knowing that our frontline staff are going to be protected. It's huge. And I think knowing that we can also, as a rural facility, and I think I think this would be echoed by other leaders across the state, knowing that we can be a help in administering the vaccine rather than relying. We're grateful for our partners who've vaccinated staff for us, but we can do that work here, and we're grateful to be able to do that. And I think the other piece is just a huge relief that we have a second producer of vaccine that increases the number of people over a period of time who can be vaccinated. And that's also a big relief. So relief and excitement.
Coming up next, high winds that raced through the upper Wenatchee Valley left more than 1,000 residents without power last night. Neither of North Central Washington's congressional representatives is 100% pleased with the COVID-19 package approved by Congress this week. And we'll hear from the Quincy police chief, who just received a COVID-19 vaccination. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back. In another news, high winds that raced through the upper Wenatchee Valley left more than 1,000 residents without power last night. Tree falls around Plain and Lake Wenatchee affected Chelan County PUD customers in those areas, as well as parts of Leavenworth. Wind gusts reached 40 miles an hour and above. The longest outage lasted just over 7 hours until PUD crews could restore service. Well, neither of North Central Washington's congressional representatives is 100% pleased with the COVID-19 package approved by Congress this week. The bill gives $900 billion in relief aid overall, and most Americans can expect $600 per person in direct payments. On Monday, 4th District Republican Dan Newhouse said the package, quote, does not address all of our concerns, but it makes significant progress to help our communities recover from this pandemic. In the 8th District, Democrat Kim Schreier said, quote, this package does not go far enough, but it has some very important wins for families and small business. Both voted in favor of passage. Well, after receiving a COVID-19 vaccination last Thursday, Quincy Police Chief Keith Siebert posted on his Facebook that his arm was a little sore, but, quote, "I didn't turn into a zombie," unquote. Siebert was back on social media Monday to say his arm was better, and he's apparently still not a zombie.
Hi, everybody. Just a quick update on the COVID-19 vaccine. I got the first injection last Thursday, so 4 days ago. I feel good. No symptoms, headache, any of that kind of stuff. Arm was sore for about a day and a half, the same as the other two that were with me that day. So all is good. Anyway, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Be safe out there.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because when it came back, both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth, they're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Each year, Shar Turner tries to bring a little extra holiday cheer to friends, family, and anyone else who visits her East Wenatchee home. Inside her home, they find an incredible collection of 38 Christmas trees from 7.5 to 13 feet high, each with its own theme. This year, setting up and decorating her trees was extra challenging for 79-year-old Shar as she dealt with a broken ankle and the very real possibility that COVID-19 might prevent people from actually seeing what she had created. In tonight's feature story, she said her love of Christmas won out again.
Well, I started this project in 1999, and my friend Sharon Van Doren came up to help me decorate, and we did 3 trees, and I thought, oh, I think maybe I can do that. And so every year I've increased the amount of trees that I have, and now I'm up to 38. And we usually have friends that come by to tour the trees, but unfortunately this year I broke my ankle in May and haven't been able to do a lot by myself, but I've had many friends and family that have stepped up to the plate to help me. And with the COVID this year, we've kind of just limited families that come together or 1 or 2 couples. And everyone has to wear a mask, and I take temperatures, and we try to social distance whenever we can. But we're very happy doing this. But unfortunately, probably this will be my last year because I can't get up on a ladder to take care of the 13-footers. Each tree has a different theme. And actually, each time I do this, I change the trees in some way. This year I made 180 bows, and now some of my trees have bows in addition to ornaments. Well, normally I started in September and finish up usually by the middle of October, but with this year with my broken ankle, it took us till December to get all the trees up.
Beautiful Christmas trees, right? Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Before we do that, outside we go as we look down at parts of the Wenatchee Valley from our Malaga Sky-Fi Tower camera. And just back here, you can see the Columbia River and part of Wenatchee right here in a beautiful, beautiful second day of winter around the Wenatchee Valley today. High temperatures, warm. In fact, we mentioned yesterday this would be the last warm day. Didn't quite think it would get that warm. 46 degrees unofficially this afternoon. 31 is our normal high, so you can see well above our normal. 35 was our low and 23 our normal high temperature. Didn't have any information from the Weather Service throughout the day on our records, so we'll bring you that once again tomorrow. Still at 573, 5.73, and that's inches of precipitation since January 1st. Sunrise this morning, 7:46, and the sun will set, did set this afternoon, I should say, at 4:13. We are going to be beginning to gain light beginning tomorrow, and especially as we get closer into this weekend. Won't that be nice? Let's take a look at how your Wednesday will shape up. 2 days before Christmas tomorrow. And you know, I talked earlier about traveling for Christmas. I'm aware we have a COVID-19 pandemic. We're not supposed to travel, but it's my responsibility to tell you how travel conditions are going to be out there, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Cooler tomorrow. Temperatures only in the mid to upper 30s in the Columbia Basin, 35 in Wenatchee, 30 in Lake Wenatchee, and 33 the high temperature in Chelan tomorrow. As we take a look at that surface loop, and if you are making your way across the state, you're going to find out how it's going to be tonight. Mostly clear. It will be a little bit chilly. We've been used to those temperatures in the 30s, but look at this. We're talking low to mid 20s for overnight lows tonight, so it's going to be a frosty one as you make that morning commute. For Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, much cooler air too. Area of high pressure right here, and it's all the way up, dragging that cold Arctic air down into most of the Pacific Northwest and the Rocky Mountain region. For Christmas Eve on Thursday, great weather for driving. Increasing clouds. It will be calm out there and still cool, but not really cold, because this is kind of where we should be for this time of year. And here's our next weather maker, and look at this. Christmas Day, this is 4 o'clock, and we're showing on this weather model snow throughout central Washington. So, will we have a white Christmas? It'd be awful cool to get some snow on Christmas Day. And temperatures will be on the cool side once again, with mainly lower 30s for highs. As we get into the upcoming weekend, might see an isolated morning snow shower, and then it will be warmer too as our high kind of erodes away. We see more of a westerly flow, so not bad for Saturday. And if you're driving home on Sunday, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be slightly above normal. Not bad at all as you make your way home on Sunday, with temperatures pretty much into the middle and upper 30s. For Monday, as we start our next work week, heading into New Year's, partly cloudy on Monday, still slightly warmer than normal, and our weather on Monday and even into Tuesday will just be quiet, but we do have another storm to tell you about, and there it is right here about midweek next week, and that could affect New Year's Eve. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight we'll drop down, I talked about it, a chilly low of 23, 34, and mostly sunny tomorrow. 22 the overnight low, but that's going to be topped on Thursday. 21 as we head into Christmas Day, increasing clouds Thursday. And there we go, a 40% chance for snow. It'll mainly be late afternoon, early evening in the Wenatchee Valley. High temperature of 32. A morning snow shower not out of the question on Saturday, and 37. And looking ahead to Monday, partly cloudy then and cool with a high of 35. And that's a look at your NCWLIFE weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Choose the pros. Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Gonzaga improved to 5-0 on the season with a 95-57 whitewashing in Northwestern State yesterday. That game played in Spokane. Corey Kispert scored 27 points for the Bulldogs in what ended up being its home opener after several cancellations due to COVID. Anton Watson scored 15 points for the Zags, while Jalen Suggs added 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. In a scheduling anomaly created by the pandemic, Gonzaga will host Northwestern State again today in the Kennel. Zags have now won 32 straight games at home dating back to 1988. Washington State is off to its best start since the 2007-8 season with a 7-0 start after a 90-62 win over Prairie View A&M last night. Effie, make that F-A, Abogidi, I got to get that name down, led 5 players in double figures with 16 points and had 14 rebounds. Noah Williams chipped in 13. Isaac Bonton added 12. And Andrzej Jakimovski had 11. WSU will host Northwestern State tomorrow at 2 o'clock. On the women's side of the scoreboard last night, thanks to Les Schwab for sponsoring our scoreboard, by the way, Washington State gave number 8 Oregon all it could handle in Pullman last night in a battle of 2 undefeated teams, but the Ducks pulled out on top 69-65. Ula Mutuga's three-point attempt to give the Cougars the lead with 6 seconds left missed. Oregon's Maddie Shearer made 2 free throws to ice the victory. The Gonzaga women raced out to a 24-12 first quarter lead and never looked back in downing North Alabama 87-57. That was at the Las Vegas Holiday Hoops Classic on Monday. Talk about balanced scoring. Leanne Worth, Jen Worth, and Jill Townsend each had 14 points to lead the Bulldogs. Gonzaga's off until next Monday. Well, 7 Seahawks were selected to the Pro Bowl on Monday. Russell Wilson, Jamal Adams, DK Metcalf, Bobby Wagner, Quandre Diggs, Nick Bellore, and Tyler Ott were all picked by a consensus of votes of fans, players, and coaches to represent Seattle. It tied for the most in franchise history and was equaled in number by Kansas City and Green Bay. This will be Wilson's 8th Pro Bowl in 9 years. Wagner, who ranks 6th in the league with 126 tackles, is a Pro Bowler for the 7th straight year. Adams will be headed to his Pro Bowl for the 3rd time, but first, of course, with the Seahawks. For Metcalf, Diggs, Bellore, and Ott, it is their first time being selected to the Pro Bowl. By the way, if you're curious, Bellore is a fullback with the Seahawks who's going for his special teams play. Ott is Seattle's long snapper. Now, how they missed out on getting our punter and kicker involved in the Pro Bowl, I'm not quite sure about that. Well, Coach Pete Carroll met with reporters Monday prior to the league's announcement of the Pro Bowl. He says after watching Sunday's film, he is really happy with his team's overall strength heading into these final 2 games.
We're really fortunate by the way that our defenses continue to improve and play good ball. We're just so much better than we were earlier in the year, and you guys have been asking about it, and it's the truth, and we're excited about it, and looking forward to keep getting better. There's still so many ways we can improve, and so we're still looking for that game, which just we just do it all right. And it's out there for us. Offensively, we needed to neutralize a really good defense, and one that was on fire, and we were able to do that. Loved the plan that worked out and the way we were able to run the football and control the line of scrimmage and then be able to keep those guys from getting to the quarterback when we did throw the football. So it worked out quite well. And the kicking game was really good again. Michael had a great game, averaging over 50 yards a punt, and Jason Myers continues to just be hot as you can be. But the whole team unit is playing really well, and so it's good to see those guys continuing to come back. We have no penalties in the kicking game, which is always special. Cody Barton continues to be a huge factor, and Nick Ballore and Cover and Ryan Neal. So we're getting really good play out of those guys. So we're happy with these last couple weeks of feeling like we're putting together good ball games, and gives us a chance to have some flexibility in how we approach the games, and who we're playing and all of that, and that's what that balance is all about. So we're pleased with that.
DJ Reed has certainly been a surprise addition to Seattle's defense this season. He had 3 passes defended against Washington and an interception. Coach Carroll says, not to let his 5'9" size fool you.
Yeah, Jen, he's a really, really explosively quick athlete, and so he has with really good instincts and toughness and smarts and all the rest. It adds up to he is all over anybody he's playing right now, and he's just, he's playing very aggressively in playmaking attempts and stuff. He's trying to go for it because he's in position to do that. So he's just an all-around football player. He just happens to be 183 pounds, and no problem with me. I love the way he plays. So he's doing a good job, and real pleased. But he had a very good game. 3 breakups and a pick and all. It was a beautiful game.
Returning to practice this week is wide receiver Josh Gordon. He's been out for a year, suspended by the NFL for PEDs and substance abuse. Coach Carroll says he looks forward to seeing what Gordon looks like in practice.
Really, we got to get him on the practice field and see what he looks like and all. He's been working out really hard. I've been able to watch his workouts on video a couple times here to see that he's in really good shape. He's really big and strong too, so we're excited to see how he does. We are planning the week like he has a chance to contribute, so we'll see. We'll hold out a good hope and thought and see where it fits.
Seahawks clinched a playoff spot with Sunday's win over Washington. This weekend is pretty straightforward. If Seattle wins, they win the NFC West for the first time since 2016. The Rams want to keep their hopes of winning the NFC West alive and could clinch a playoff spot with a win or a tie. Seahawks and LA kick off Sunday at 1:25 at Lumen Field. Game will be broadcast on Fox. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Join me for a very special edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on Wednesday morning with just 2 days before Christmas. It took a lot of logistics, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. But my guest tomorrow will be Hermie, the dentist, from the classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yes, Hermie, the dentist, will be joining me live in... Whole time I'm being told in my earpiece, I will not be able to interview Hermie tomorrow. Just got word. So I'm going to wing it. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.